to the chat. Welcome to another edition of the Brooklyn Baby Podcast with me, your host, Charlene Sapp. I hope that everyone had a wonderful work week, school week, week in general, whatever you had going on. I just had a good week. You know, the devil is busy, but I'm still going to shine and rise above it and not be petty, or try not to, and just stay prayerful, stay positive, stay beautiful, stay blessed. So today's episode is about self-esteem. And in addition to self-esteem, it's really going to be about that, along with just being positive, knowing yourself, and just loving yourself, because that's a very important topic. A lot of people, I'm realizing, on this earth are lacking self-esteem, lacking confidence, and that's very unfortunate. So that would be the topic of today's episode: self-love, self-esteem. Let's go. I can't stress it enough, just being born a darker complexioned African American woman in society. If I did not have the family, the parents, the mother, the father, being exposed to so much in the Black culture, and having our house decorated with African American art, and being taken to museums, and having my parents take me to different places, including an art exhibit with the late great Egyptologist Dr. Ben, being exposed to that, seeing in our home, whether it was in Brooklyn, New York, or Raleigh, North Carolina, beautiful Black artifacts, Black art, with people with features that look like mine, with complexions that look like mine, so that really, really reinforced who I am. And I give all the credit, of course, to God, and for God bless me with the parents that I have. So with that being said, I see people, even people, and not just to make it a black-white issue, but I see people within my culture who may have a lighter complexion, lighter eye color, straighter hair than mine, or curlier hair than mine, or whatever the case may be. And then they tell me about what they have gone through being a lighter complexion person, being teased and ostracized, which I was blown away when I first heard stories like that when I was in college. And I never really took into account that people who are lighter complexion, or people of other races, get teased because of their phenotype, their physical features. I just always thought it was just like a dark skin thing, or being darker in America or in the world. But so again, I give my family, my parents, my upbringing, God, the credit for being raised the way I was, because this world will eat you up and chew you out just because it can. And then you have other issues to bring into the equation, like the way a person's skin or appearance or whatever the case may be. So I'm telling you, and when I deal with students too, I've had so many students say things to me of all backgrounds, nationalities, races, mention, being teased because of the way they look, because of their physicality. I've even had kids who were Caucasian tell me that they were teased because their skin was so pale. Very rare, but I had a couple of instances, like that. But for the most part, it's typically the African American student being ostracized, being teased because of his or her darker skin complexion. And I'm like, wow. And I realized how fortunate, how blessed, I don't even say lucky, I say blessed and fortunate I am to not have those issues. Not saying I'm perfect, I got other issues, but not that. And I know growing up, people used to say, boy, I love the fact you have so much self-esteem. And I've had people look at me and say, oh, you're real pretty and you're dark skinned, or you're pretty, you're attractive for a dark skin. And this from other African American people, which is amazing. It just blew me away. Like, why can't I just be an attractive, pretty, nice looking woman? But like, they're blown away that you can't be darker and be attractive. Wow, wow, and wow. I know one time specifically, yeah, my mother and I were in the Dime Savings Bank building in Brooklyn. I met her for lunch, and this was after I was finished with college. I know my son was in that daycare I mentioned episodes ago, that was across my mother's job at the the New York City Department of Health on Flatbush Avenue Extension, a few blocks away from Junior's. And my mother and I were at the Dime Savings Bank building. I met her for lunch. Michael was in the daycare nearby, and my mother had to do a bank transaction inside the bank. This is when people really went inside the banks. This was like, I would say, if I finished college in 95 and graduated, this was around 96, right before we moved to North Carolina. Anyway, met my mother for lunch. Before going to lunch, we went to the Dime Savings Bank building, like in the vicinity of Junior's, and we were in the lobby, getting ready to go to a teller. My mother was writing out a bank slip, and this older African American woman, she may have been in her maybe 70s. She turned to me. She said, "Oh, you are a beautiful woman. You're very good looking, and you're dark skinned too. But you're still good looking." Something along those lines. I couldn't believe it. I just graciously said thank you, took the compliment, and walked off with my mom. Yeah, and that resonated with me. I was, in my mid-20s at that time? But I'm like, wow, 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 wow. And she herself was also a dark-skinned woman, about my complexion. And to say that, that's just so backwards, and just, it's very unfortunate. She should have just given me the compliment of bringing up color and complexion. Anyway, so again, this world will chew you up, it'll eat you up. Again, this episode is about self-love, self-esteem, and pretty much try to get it wherever you can. Try to block out people who don't feed into or pour into your self-esteem and your self-love. Separate, elevate from those people in those situations. Try to gravitate towards people who do pour into it. Embrace those people. Have those people in your lives. And if you don't have that, try to do it for yourself. Try to do positive affirmations. Try to tell yourself that you love yourself, how beautiful you are. Pray about it. And if you need to seek help, counseling, therapy, that's perfectly normal and healthy as well. Because we got to be mindful. Not everybody was raised the same way. Not everyone has the support base. And everyone was raised differently. Everyone's mindset is different. And I'm not going to say I was always this way now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I have all the answers either. I always say that about myself. But this is my truth. This is my journey. This is my story. Sometimes you could even have all of those things and still have doubt, and society will make you feel, or try to make you feel differently about yourself. So just positive things. Try to go do activities that make you happy. If you can't find someone to go out to dinner with you, take yourself out to dinner. That's really, when you can sit at a dinner table and go places by yourself, that's a new whole level of being a boss. It is. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, for me, it started when my son Michael was in high school. He was in high school. I would say he was in starting when he was in the 9th or 10th grade. There were like certain restaurants that I wanted to go to. I could give you specifics. We used to have a restaurant here in Raleigh, North Carolina, in North Raleigh, and it was called Crystal Palace. And everybody who knows me knows Charlene, or they call me Sha Boo, or Lean. I love snow crab legs. And I'm a foodie. I'm not even gonna lie. That's why I struggle with my weight, go up and down and go up. You might see me thinner one minute, see me heavier the next minute. But that is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. Anyway, but they had all you can eat crab legs, in addition to access to their all you can eat hot and cold bar. They had soups. It was an Asian restaurant, but they had crab legs with the melted butter, and you could serve yourself in earlier years because we moved to North Carolina in 1998, and I discovered this Crystal Palace maybe a year or two later. Okay, so let's say we're in the early 2000s when I first discovered Crystal Palace. And there would be times in which, like, my son, he played both basketball and football in high school and in middle school. My point is saying is to say there would be times in which, you know, my parents may have helped in picking him up from his different sport practices before he got his own car. But then when he reached 10th grade, his father gave him his first car. So Michael was on his own as far as taking himself to practices, taking himself to school. But there were times like a year before that and during that time where maybe my parents were doing their own thing, going on dates because they were never home. They would always be going somewhere, shopping, eating, enjoying their retirement. They were retired since what, 97? One retired in 97, one retired in 98, just weeks before we moved down here. So they'd been retired for 25 years. Anyway, so there have been times when maybe everybody was at work. I got out of work from the school early, or even my other past jobs before I started becoming a teacher. And I'd take myself to Crystal Palace and just eat by myself, take advantage of the crab leg all-you-can-eat buffet. And that was very therapeutic for me. It was relaxing. And there were times when Michael would come by when he had his car. He finished with school or practice or maybe no practice that day. And I say, hey, Mike, you know, if you want to join me at Crystal Palace, my treat. Yep, that happened. So, yeah, there have been times I've taken myself to the movie. Not that I don't have friends. I have a whole network of friends and more family than I can count on both sides. But sometimes, you know, I'm an advocate of doing things on my own. I've taken trips to New York City back home by myself. Then I would link up with family members, old classmates, friends, but I would take the trip by myself. There are times when, I do that. I told people I'm going to exotic places a lot more now that, you know, my mother has passed away. So my feeling to need to stay close to help out with anything pertaining to her has gone away. And luckily my dad at this point in his life at 87 is not in need of care, and I hope he stays that way. But I said I'm going to travel more, and I said if I can't find anyone to go with me, I'll go by my damn self. And that's just it's liberating when you can do that. And that's my own form of self-love, self-care. I know we had an early episode of self-care. Self-esteem, you got to look at yourself and tell yourself how beautiful you are, how blessed you are, how fortunate you are. And you got to believe it. You can't just say it. And I'm telling you, skinny, fat, tall, short, rich, poor, if you really believe that you are that person and you are the shit, you'd be surprised if people will buy into it. I'm telling you, it's like a magnet. It's a magnet. I'm living testimony. Like sometimes I like to wear makeup, but at times I'm going out to the gym, working out, and it's weird, but I attract a lot of people even without the makeup when I'm looking not as dolled up and everything, but I feel makeup, no makeup, I'm the shit. I'm that woman. I'm that bitch. Excuse my language, and if you don't believe it, no one else is going to believe it. You know, and I've had people shoot their shot at the gym, no makeup, barefaced, no extensions, no nothing, my natural hair pulled back into a ponytail or maybe twisted up into a bun, you know, no fanfare, not a stitch of makeup, and people still trying to holler. So, you know, but again, it's that whole aura. If you walk with confidence, believe and think with confidence, pour into yourself with confidence, speak with confidence, walk with your back straight, shoulders erect, head up, looking people directly in the eye, permeating love and joy, you attract so much positivity in your life. You don't have to look like a Miss America or someone drop dead gorgeous. You don't. But what it will do, you'll draw people to you. You'll have a certain magnetism, maybe even a certain sex appeal. And people will be drawn to you. But you got to believe in yourself. You got to pour into yourself. You got to speak positivity into yourself. And conversely, if you don't do that for yourself, well then, yeah, negativity can be attracted into your life. Negative situations, negative people, negative attention or no attention. So I'm here to tell you positivity, pour into yourselves, be positive, speak positivity, think positivity, act like, don't be nice nasty. Now don't be trying to be positive about yourself and you're treating other people like crap and not being kind or not being respectful. There's a lot of levels to this, you know. And I always had this feeling, this saying rather, you know, happy people act a certain way and happy people don't act a certain way. If you are loving yourself and a happy, positive person, it should permeate. It should permeate. It's something that you can't buy. Self-esteem, self-love is something that you can't fake. It's something you can't manufacture. You could build and work towards it. And if I could just sell it in a bottle, I would be so rich. This feeling that I have within myself. No matter, I'm not saying I don't have problems and things don't happen, but you gotta love you first. You have to pour into you first. You have to believe in yourself first. If you don't, no one else will. No one else will. No one. No one. So please, cut out anything negative in your life. Look at yourself in the mirror. And if it makes you feel better, you know, get out that credit card. You know, take some money out your account. Use that debit card, whatever you need to do. Get yourself, spruce up your wardrobe. Buy new shoes, new sneakers, whatever you need. You know, male, whether you're male, female, maybe if you're into fragrances, get some new perfumes or colognes. If you get a makeover, go to the barber shop or the beautician and get yourself a new hairdo, a new haircut, or get yourself a hairdo or haircut. Spruce up, update your wardrobe. You know, do what you need to do. Because whether I'm heavier or thinner or in between, I got clothes for days. Clothes for whatever size I am at that moment. I got clothes. But I know I gotta lose weight and stay that way instead of going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's not good for your body. That's a whole nother topic. But either way, I still look good. So, because you gotta believe in yourself, you know, and don't let anyone from social media tear you down and make you feel that you don't look good. I think we've seen so many people in society, celebrities, and I guess they unfortunately were subjected to people taking shots at them, trolling them, making them feel that they don't look good. And then what do? They went to the plastic surgeon and fucked up their faces. That's exactly what happened. And you look at old pictures and new pictures, and you're like, wow, so-and-so sure looked better back in the day before they ruined their face or lightened their skin or chopped off their nose or did something to their eyes and their face and their lips. Yeah, so it's hard because the kind of society we're living in is just, it's really not right. Times have changed and not for the best. But block out whatever anyone has to say about you and believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. Be like a duck. Let it roll off your shoulder, roll off your back. And just continue to love yourself. Be positive. And don't let the world or anyone bring you down. Self-love. Self-esteem. Get it. Get it for yourself. And do whatever you need to do to positively get it for yourself. And if no one else is going to love you, love your damn self. If no one else is going to make you feel beautiful, tell you that you're beautiful, make yourself feel beautiful yourself instead of waiting for the world to tell you. Self-esteem, happiness, self-love is an inside job. Go find it for yourself and make it happen for yourself. I'm telling you, it'll be life-changing, altering, and watch what I say. You change that and make your mindset more positive, positive things will come to you. That's how the universe works. Try it. It works. Well, that's all for now. Hopefully you enjoyed. And until next time, stay positive, stay blessed, enjoy your weekend. Bye.